Hey, what's going on, guys? gdoggcasey here with another episode of Path of Exile. I am recording this one basically right after I recorded episode 2, or episode 1, sorry. This is episode 2. Sometimes I'll do that, especially when I start a new series. I'm kind of excited to play, and I have the time right now, so don't hate me for that one. Most of the time I'll be recording one episode per day so I can respond to your comments as quickly as possible, but today we're going to do 2, mostly just because I want to keep playing. So we need to go to the fetid pool. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and use the waypoint to take us to the coast where we left off. And remember I said before, the coast is, or the coast waypoint is usually near the exit to the mudflats. Now you can see here we're in the same map we were in before. That's because it hasn't been more than 15 minutes or whatever since I was last here. So it's all the enemies are dead. If you wait a while, the zone will reset. If you hold control while going into the zone, it will reset the zone for you. So you can do it like every 2 minutes if you want. And that's pretty cool because there might be a boss that you want to farm or something like that, so you can do it that way. Alright, so this is the mudflats. We're going to be exploring this zone in this episode. I'm not exactly sure how far we'll make it. We're going to try to keep the episode shorter than the last one was, though, so we'll see.
Pain brings strength. That's nature for you.
Alright, so we've leveled up to level 5. So we'll clear out these enemies, and then... come on, I thought that was going to do it. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and level up. I'm going to come up to this one, more evasion and life. And because we hit level 5, we can actually use this bow now. We'll make sure to move the skill over. We're going to do a little bit more damage. I'm just going to follow the coast here and uncover this side of the map, and we'll go through the center later. Okay, there we go. Coral Ring. So the ring gives, Coral Ring gives more life, and if we have an open slot, the character will equip it just right away. So we just gave ourselves some extra hit points, which is good. A Rustic Sash is a belt that gives more physical damage, and our bow does do physical damage, as well as cold damage when we use Ice Shot, so that's pretty neat. So we will get use out of that as well. Alright, here's a champion group, which we are sort of tearing through. I might have got a couple crits there or something, because these guys are not dying quite as fast, but there we go. Taking them out ranger style. Okay, we got... And another coral ring that'll give us some more health. So we can wear 2 rings. Now I do see that exclamation point, but I also know what it is, so we're just going to get it later. Another elite group, or champion group. I'm not exactly sure what they call them in Path of Exile. Basically, they just have extra properties. So these guys are extra accurate, so they won't miss half as much. Superior small mana flask might be okay. It's still a small flask, but it heals just a little bit more. So we can swap it out with the other sort of crappy one that we have. And we'll head over to this direction. So over here, we're going to find a strange glyph wall, which we can't do anything with until we find a way to lower the water. So I guess that means it's not going to let me in here? Or is it still going to let me in here? No, we have to lower the water first. Okay. So we'll figure that out. And that also gave us a quest, actually, to explore the mudflats. Wisdom. Okay, so here's one right here. A Roa nest, which is always guarded by a group of Roas. And then we can take the egg, which has a glyph in it, surprisingly enough. And we need to find 2 more. We already saw the other one. We'll be able to go pick it up in a bit. Alright, here is a boss type enemy. So this is going to be a good example for me to show you my Quicksilver Flask. You can use it as a ranger specifically to help kite these enemies very well. So something to keep in mind. Oh, this guy actually resists cold. There we go, we got him. It is pretty fun to just pick these guys off from far away, I will admit. Serrated arrow quiver. So this is what we equip in our second hand here, and it gives us extra damage on our bows. So that's interesting. I actually didn't know about that. But then again, now that I'm presented with it, it makes a lot of sense, because a lot of other action RPGs with archers do the same thing. Okay, we got some dialogue here.
Black storms descend on us from the north. Unnatural tempests of rage and hatred, lashing our backs, tearing at our houses. The rain is shot with shadow. It withers our crops, sickens our livestock. And the wind carries with it a restless spirit that breeds melancholy and madness. A spirit that creeps through our dreams, weaves tales of misdeed around our resting minds. We try not to listen. We try to remember ourselves. Some of us forget. Brothers fight. Brothers die. Calm punishes those that quarrel, that steal, that murder. Yet still the nightmares goad us into malefaction. We Karui are banished from sleep.
Still not exactly sure who the Karui are, but I guess the more of those we listen to, maybe we'll find out more. Okay, so this was the entrance to the fetid pool, which we do need to explore. But we're going to clear out this zone first. The fetid pool is where our optional side quest takes us. Now, they say they're optional, and after reading more guides, actually, the fetid pools one was specifically used as one that people say you should skip, technically, if you're looking to rush to the end game, because it doesn't really offer you anything that you need. But we're going to do it anyway. We're going to complete everything that we can route during this playthrough for the first difficulty, just so that we can see everything there is to be seen. After that, we'll experiment with rushing through. Alright, so there we are. We have explored the outskirts and the edges. We see the fetid pools up there. We're going to sort of take the middle route here and pick up the rest of these glyphs. Alright, we got the level up. So we are still heading this way. And next level, we're going to get a bit more of a major pickup, Finesse, which increases attack speed, accuracy rating, and dexterity. So that's going to be dope, because that means we will have much less misses and just more damage in general. And there we go. So we have the 3 glyphs that we need. And we can lower the water and move into the submerged passage, but we're going to actually do the fetid pools first. So we can start heading up here. Let's see what the fetid pool has to offer. Well, it looks pretty fetid. So for this one, it wants us to kill every monster that's in here. So we actually do have to explore the entire area. Oh, these guys have extra life, so that's why they're taking longer. But there we go. The Iron Ring gives hit points, I think. Oh, physical damage to attacks. So actually, let's switch. That's 28, that's 26. So technically, that was a little bit better. But now we'll do a little bit more damage. Okay, there we go. Got him. Oh, we got a necromancer here. Yeah, he reses these guys, so we just kind of want to focus him down if we can. Make sure that they don't actually kill us. Use Quicksilver to run a bit. And the ice will help with the AoE to be able to take care of some of these minions who are getting in our way. And he's dead. Okay, so we can clear these guys now. There we go. Nothing we really need, though. Superior rawhide boots. I feel as though the boots are probably what we want. I have a feeling evasion is what we're going for. I still haven't looked at the build, by the way. I said I was going to in the first episode, but then I just decided to record this one right after. I promise I will look into it. That's one thing that I've been struggling a little bit as a new player to Path of Exile. Like, everybody says you need to look up builds, which I can see the benefit to, but the builds are a little bit tough to read, because if you don't really know anything, like, they tell you, oh, you know, lightning arrow ranger build, but, like, I don't even really know when I'm supposed to get lightning arrow in the first place. So, you know, you just kind of have to use something, you know, that is relatively useful, that can get you through until you get the skills that you're looking for.
Beauty will grow from your remains.
Ooh, a rare short bow, so I'm pretty pumped about that. Can you hit the guy, please? So we'll grab that. And a magical medium mana flask. So we'll check out both of these. So we'll use the bow. Okay, so it's 6 to 16 base damage, which is exactly the same, but we get the same amount of cold damage. We get 13% increased critical strike. We get some cold resist, and we get extra mana on kill. So it's not super amazing, but it's still pretty good. Okay, we can't fit the gem in there. We'll just put it in another green slot. And this one gives us a reduced amount recovered. Oh, wow. But it increases recovery speed. Okay, so it's not really that good, actually. But it still... it gives even less than what this one does. But it's magical. We're going to use it. It's probably not going to affect us too badly. It heals less mana, but it recharges faster. The scale vest gives armor and evasion. Oh, the shabby jerkin gives more evasion, though. Well, actually, this one's probably better. I don't know. That's the one thing that I really don't know what's the best type of armor for us. So I'm just sort of winging it for now. That's definitely something I'd love to know from you guys if you already know. This dude didn't stand a chance. We have a rare iron hat. We are wearing an iron hat, even though we probably shouldn't be. Alright, and let's quickly grab this skill because it's a good one. Finesse. So we should have a bit faster attack speed, and we should be missing a little bit less overall, which is the hope. Okay, so we're back to the beginning. Haven't killed them all, so now we're just going to sort of search out the middle areas that we may have missed. Here's one guy that we're missing. this looks like this will be the area here, yeah. There we go. Got everything. Pick up the Org of Augmentation. And we can get out of town. So before we end the episode, before we go back to Lion Eyes, actually, we're going to head into the Submerged Passage because I know that there's a waypoint there. I'm fairly familiar with Act 1 because I have come back and played Act 1 quite a few times. And then by the time this character hits Act 2 and things like that, like I will probably be a little bit more familiar with that as well because my offline character is... or offline I say, but off-camera character is about halfway through Act 2 right now. And that's as far as I've been. So you won't be... I won't be seeing these areas for the first time during these episodes, most likely, but I will be reading the dialogue for the first time and learning the story and things like that. So, and this is also the first time I'm going to go this far with a ranger. So we can now go into the Submerged Passage, and there's going to be a waypoint somewhere nearby. And this is one of my favorite zones in the first act here because it just looks so much like an underground sort of water cave. Like, look at the water everywhere, the reflections, the lighting is all just really good. So, there we go. We're going to go back to Lion's Eye Watch, turn in the quests that we can, uncover any dialogue from these dudes, and call it a day.
So, you opened the tidal passage and live to tell the tale. Forgive me if I don't seem over the moon about it. I was running down a wounded rower one night's eve when I glimpsed something in the watery cave, behind the mists of the falls. Looked a bit like one of those sand spitters, with the size of a bloody ox. I reckon it will be nesting down in the flooded depths somewhere, below that submerged tunnel. If you're going that way then, do us a favor. Take this and go spill the old shield crab's guts before it gets hungry and comes looking for us.
None of these I'm really familiar with. Puncture. That sounds decent. I'll take that, even though I probably won't use it.
We've got enough undead wandering around without someone raising more for us to deal with. Well, good to see you don't mind getting your hands filthy. Here, have this. To mark a dirty job well done.
So, Book of Regret will allow us to...
I've travelled inland, on the Emperor's Road via the Prisoner's Gate. Had to skirt around Axiom Prison. That's the holdfast of Brutus, the warden. Bloody treacherous trip it was. Worth it. There's forest inland. Game, berries, fruit. More food than we can scrounge here. But most here wouldn't survive the journey. It would be a damn sight easier if we could pass through the prison. Tell you what. You carve us a path up the coast. Find us a way past or through Brutus. And you'll have more than a few lives owing to you.
We'll talk to him about Roas.
Rowers? Overgrown chickens with a murderous streak. Easy enough to bring down, one by one. But just don't get surrounded by them. They'll talon your guts out and snap you up like a big fat worm. If you get the chance, have a rifle through their nests. The bros are a bit like magpies. Got an eye for what shines.
Okay, perfect. So we'll take a quick look at our loot here. I did kind of want to check out this iron hat. Yeah, it's intelligence again, which is a bit ironic, but I mean, it's definitely better than what we're wearing right now, so we'll go ahead and put that on. Everything else, I think, can easily be sold off. The Book of Regrets gives us 2 passive refund points, so we can go back in our skill tree if we want, but we don't really want to use that at the moment. All right, so Tarklave,
Still alive,
sell. And we get all that stuff. Scroll of Wisdom for it. And a few other things. We'll dump that in our stash. As well as these skills that I don't need. Okay, there we go. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, leave comments down below if you have anything you want to say or anything of interest. Leave a like if you're so inclined, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.